Welcome to Vintage Shots. Before his death at the age of 21, he was already a legend, a sharpshooter, a notorious outlaw, a nightmare of the Old West. He operated under many aliases, but the whole world knows him by the name Billy the Kid. His life was short, violent, and full of chaos. Before we dive into 9 facts about his life, please hit the subscribe button and share the channel. Number 1. He was orphaned as a teenager and left to survive a heartless frontier. While the early life of the boy who would become a terror remains shrouded in mystery, historical evidence suggests he was born Henry McCarty in the disease-ridden Irish slums of New York City, likely in late 1859. Raised by a resilient single mother, Catherine, he moved west to Wichita, Kansas, before eventually migrating to the rugged territory of New Mexico in the early 1870s. Henry was a bright and adaptable youth who quickly mastered the ways of the frontier and even became fluent in Spanish, a skill that would later help him hide among locals. However, his life took a tragic turn in 1874 when his mother died of tuberculosis, leaving him an orphan at the age of just 14. With only an absentee stepfather who showed no interest in him, the future gunslinger was forced to survive in foster homes and boarding houses. This lack of stability and the cold reality of being alone pushed him toward a rough crowd, transforming a grieving child into a petty criminal who had to steal just to stay alive in a lawless land. Number 2. The kid's first arrest was not for a shootout, but for stolen laundry. Henry McCarty's first major run-in with the law didn't involve a bank heist or a gold robbery, but a bundle of stolen clothes. In 1875, he assisted a local street tough known as Sombrero Jack in stealing clothing from a Chinese laundry. Henry hid the loot in his boarding house, but his landlord turned him in to the sheriff. The crime carried only a minor sentence, but the teenage Henry was terrified of the jailhouse. Rather than face his punishment, the wiry youth performed a feat of pure desperation. He escaped the jailhouse by shimmying up a chimney. McCarty fled town and embarked on a career as a roving ranch hand, gambler, and gang member. He became deadly with a Winchester rifle and a Colt revolver, and by August 1877, after killing his first man in a dispute in an Arizona saloon, he adopted the alias William H. Bonney. From that moment on, the world began to whisper the name Billy the Kid. Number 3. He played a prominent and bloody role in a brutal frontier feud. Billy earned his fearsome reputation as a gunslinger in a brutal frontier feud known as the Lincoln County War in 1878. The conflict was a deadly business rivalry between British rancher John Tunstall and a pair of Irish tycoons known as the House. Tunstall became a father figure to Billy, enlisting him and other gunmen to protect his property against intimidation. But in February 1878, Tunstall was murdered in cold blood by a posse organized by a corrupt sheriff who supported the House. Following Tunstall's death, Billy and several other former employees organized a vigilante group called the Regulators and swore bloody revenge. They assassinated Sheriff William Brady and engaged in a massive, deadly 5-day firefight in the town of Lincoln. By the time the war ended and a flimsy peace was made, Billy was a seasoned killer and the most wanted man in the territory, hunted relentlessly for the murder of the sheriff. Number 4. Contrary to the myths, the kid never robbed a single train or bank. Despite the endless Hollywood myths of grand heists and train robberies, Billy the Kid was never a professional bandit like Jesse James or Butch Cassidy. He never held up a bank, a train, or even a single stagecoach. Billy didn't make his living by cracking safes or robbing gold vaults. He was, in reality, a rustler. His criminal enterprise focused almost entirely on stealing cattle and horses across the vast, sun-scorched plains of New Mexico. He was a survivor of the high desert, a shadow on the cattle trails, but he was never a professional bank robber. Number 5. Billy was involved in at least 9 documented murders. Billy was known for his easygoing personality and charming smile, but he was volcanic and deadly when provoked. Between 1877 and 1881, the baby-faced outlaw was involved in the deaths of at least 9 men, 4 of whom he killed single-handedly. One particularly legendary encounter took place in 1880 with a drunk named Joe Grant. Sensing that Grant intended to kill him, Billy casually approached him and asked to see Grant's ivory-handled pistol. While admiring it, cleverly spun the cylinder so the hammer would hit an empty chamber. Later that evening, when Grant tried to shoot Billy in the back, the gun just went click. Billy turned around, drew his own weapon, and Grant was dead before he hit the ground. It was a cold, calculated move of a man who knew exactly how to stay alive. Number 6. The kid engineered a famous and incredibly brazen jailbreak. In late 1880, Sheriff Pat Garrett finally tracked the kid to a cabin and forced his surrender. Billy was found guilty of murder and confined to the Lincoln Courthouse, waiting for a date with the gallows. But on April 28, 1881, he engineered the most daring escape of his life. While a guard was taking him to the outhouse, he slipped his handcuffs and ambushed him, killing the man with his own pistol. Then he grabbed a double-barreled shotgun and waited at a window for a second guard to run across the street. Once both guards were dead, Billy collected an arsenal of weapons, used a pickaxe to cut his leg shackles, and fled town on a stolen horse while singing. News of this brazen escape was reprinted in newspapers across the country, making the kid the most notorious celebrity of crime in the entire West. Number 7. Billy the Kid was just 21 years old at the time of his death. After his escape from death row, the kid spent several months hiding on the frontier, taking refuge with sympathetic locals in Fort Sumner. However, Sheriff Pat Garrett was relentless in his hunt. On the night of July 14, 1881, Garrett went to the home of rancher Peter Maxwell to question him. In a twist of fate, Billy also approached the house at that exact moment to get beef for a late dinner. As he entered Maxwell's darkened bedroom, he noticed a shadow and whispered, "¿Quién es?" "Who's that?" in Spanish. Garrett, hiding in the dark, recognized the voice and fired 2 rounds. One bullet struck Billy near his heart, killing him instantly. The legendary life of the outlaw ended in a pitch-black room, with a kitchen knife still in his hand and a whisper on his lips. Number 8. Some believe the kid wasn't actually killed that night in 1881. Did Billy the Kid really die that night? Some believe he survived. As the years passed, rumors circulated that Sheriff Garrett shot the wrong man or even helped the kid fake his death to escape the law. In the late 1940s, an elderly Texas man known as Brushy Bill Roberts claimed to be Billy the Kid in the flesh. He possessed scars that matched the kid's history and knew details only the outlaw could know, but his story was eventually discredited. Others theorized he lived into old age as a man named John Miller. While DNA tests remain inconclusive and plans to exhume his remains never fully materialized, most historians believe the body in the grave is truly the infamous Billy the Kid. The identity of the man Garrett shot remains one of the West's greatest mysteries. Number 9. He's been the subject of more than 50 Hollywood movies. The kid was a celebrity in his own time, but Hollywood made his legend immortal. Since the first silent film in 1911, his story has appeared on the big screen more than 50 times. Famous icons like Paul Newman, Val Kilmer, and Emilio Estevez have all portrayed the baby-faced killer. Through dime novels, television shows, and films, he's been transformed from a petty thief into a pop culture symbol of freedom, defiance, and the untamed American spirit. Billy the Kid represents the part of the human spirit that refuses to be caged or broken by a corrupt system. He is, and always will be, the eternal ghost of the American frontier. What are your thoughts on this legendary outlaw? Was he a cold-blooded killer or a victim of his time? Please leave a comment below and share your perspective on this legend. If you enjoyed this journey, please share this video and subscribe to the channel Vintage Shots to support our historical journeys. Goodbye and see you in the next videos.